Hey folks, walk with me. I've put out a few videos on this playlist at this point that talk about sort of how the US proclaims to be the bastion of freedom, the land of the free, the home of the brave. But in reality, we don't value freedom above all. We value capitalism, and especially corporatism. And, one thing that I thought I would make a quick note of on this playlist is the fact that, we as a society, as political parties, largely will not help the needy. We will not, in an FDR kind of way, systematize plans to help citizens to improve their lives. What we will do, though, is we will offer tax breaks to the max. We will offer incentives to move places. We will offer straight up bailouts if you're in trouble to corporations. And the bigger you are, the more likely it is that the American taxpayer will bail you out if you find yourself in hot water at risk of bankruptcy. Does that ever happen to a single mother who gets sick and loses her job and then doesn't have health care because she lost her job and now she has no income and she's ill and she can't get health care and she has children who depend on her and she goes bankrupt because of it? Hell no. Not even a glimmer of a thought in someone's eye to help that person. In that instance, it's bad luck. Sorry, Charlie, you got dealt a bad hand. Or, if somebody is going through some massive struggle, even veterans, right? Here, I'll play this card. Even veterans who come back and become addicted to any sort of substance and end up in a situation where they're insecure with their housing because of it. They can't hold a job because of it. There's a little bit more of a heart that goes out to those people, but not from a systematic, bureaucratic or political perspective. They do it in order to get votes, sure, but not that actually does anything that makes a difference. But there are other people who go through things that aren't veterans, go through horrific things, and end up in the same situation, right? And what are they? They're lazy, they're weak, they're incapable, they're just bad people, right? But shoot, if a corporation wants to dump toxic waste into the water, they're not a bad corporation. If they want to deny life-saving surgery for a child or for a grandmother or whatever it is, because they don't believe that it's needed, which isn't really what they believe, right? They believe that they don't want to pay the bill. They're just watching out for profit. They're not evil. They're not bad, right? I know that there are people who see through this, but I'm talking about systemically. Until we come to realize that we give all of this preferential treatment to corporations and large institutions, and we don't afford any of those things to the people who live in this country, who face many more harsh issues and realities than corporations, which are not people. Because guess what? If corporations were people, either all we people would be treated a lot better, or corporations would be treated a lot more poorly. So I don't need to go into any more depth as to why they aren't people than that. That's just the truth. They want to be treated as people when it's convenient, and they don't when it's not. And guess what? If you're a real person, you don't have that luxury. So you're not. But God, I hope that people start to really see this. It's not just seeing it, but it's continuing to beat the drum. The problem is you have movements, you have things that flare up briefly, but there's not stickiness to it. And if there's not stickiness to it, it's all too easy to just kind of wait it out, right? If you're someone who doesn't want to deal with whatever it is, you can just wait it out. So as long as it can be waited out, I think there will be little to no change. But who knows? Maybe we get there at some point. But it feels like a long way off. All right, folks. Well, if you watched me thus far, I really appreciate you dealing with my soapbox. And if you walked with me, we got, I guess, nearly 7 minutes in by the time all is said and done here. I hope that your 2025 is going well so far. And as always, I will see you in the next video.